Mixed-use living is coming to Lebanon. In episode 112 of the Love in Lebanon podcast, we get an update on Forza Commercial Real Estate's Brakeman building. It's on pace to open later on this year. Forza President Jordan Bass joins us on this episode to update the process and tell us what future tenants can expect. Episode 112 begins now.
Welcome to the Love in Lebanon podcast, highlighting all the great things happening in Lebanon, Indiana. Have an idea for an episode? Send an email to loveinlebanon@lebanon.in.gov.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Love in Lebanon podcast. Boy, so many exciting things are happening within our community, whether it be on the outskirts or downtown, and to help fill us in on some of the things that are taking place within the downtown as a kind of a welcome mat is being rolled out in the form of the Brakeman building to our greater downtown area. Joining us on this episode of the Love in Lebanon podcast is Jordan Bass. He is the president of Forza Commercial Real Estate. Jordan, thank you so much for providing your insight and being here on the podcast.
Joe, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And you're joining us via Zoom, and I know you've been keeping track of the progress that has taken place with the Brakeman building, which if I kind of look out my window, I can see bricks being put on top of other bricks, and it's really coming together, and the concepts are looking like the real thing now. That's got to make you feel good as the president of Forza.
Absolutely, and you hit it right on the head. The bricks are going up. They really just got moving earlier this week and have made some tremendous progress. So we get pictures every day. We check it out, a couple times a week in person as well. And so to see that progress, even from just last Friday, has been tremendous. So really excited.
And it's really been a testament to just the kind of stick-to-itiveness of this whole project, because people in our community know very well, and I know you do as well, with being with Forza, but the Brakeman building, and when you take into account just the availability of materials, and oh, by the way, a global pandemic, and all those things kind of seem like they were trying to slow the process down, but it's got to make you feel good that the ship has continued on its same course throughout this process.
It's been a long labor of love process with this building. Obviously, we had the idea in 2019 and reached out to City of Lebanon and really, had some great ideas and great minds came together and this was formed. And then, of course, like you mentioned, the pandemic. Then we had delays in materials, and then material and labor spikes. It really, tried its best to derail the project, but luckily, we got a lot of smart people on the team and smart people in the city that's helped out, and really testament to everybody involved here getting this thing going and keeping it moving.
And listeners, you may realize and maybe asking, what makes the Brakeman building so unique or so special within our community. Not only is it on our main gateway through Lebanon Street or State Road 39, but also this is the first of its kind. This is a mixed-use building, and so it's not just an apartment building. There'll be commercial square footage on the first floor, along with great apartments, living spaces above. And how does it feel, Jordan, to be able to bring a first of its kind to Lebanon? What we're hoping to see success happen at the Brakeman building, and then have future projects as well have similar success.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're excited, and I think the community is going to really benefit from it. I think the tenants specifically will benefit, being able to walk downstairs to whatever, business is down in that commercial space, and the walkability of Lebanon is nice. There's a lot of businesses and restaurants around there. So I think they'll work well together. And I think, the building itself is going to be really pretty. It's going to be a nice, unique building. It's unique in the fact that, it's broken up a little bit on the design intentionally with different bricks and some setbacks, et cetera, so that it looks like it's several different buildings, even though it's just one complete building.
And I'm looking at it now, and it does just that. It looks like it is, distinctly different buildings, but it's all encapsulated in one. And as you mentioned, that's by design. You also mentioned the walkability of our community, and just wondering, the proximity to the interstate definitely, I'm guessing, played a role, but other factors that played a role in choosing Lebanon to be able to have this project take shape? Yeah,
Lebanon, even obviously there's a lot of great things about Lebanon now specifically. But even in 2019, we did market studies across Indiana and found that Lebanon was up and coming, and it's a nice area, and the community really wants to make it an even better community than it already is. And so it's one of those things that you look at, Boone County as a whole is is growing. The economy is doing really great, and so there's a lot of exciting things in Boone County and Lebanon. On top of it, it's what I've found. I live in the north side of Indy, and getting downtown Indy takes me about the same time as it does if I were coming from Lebanon. So I think a lot of people are realizing that, a lot of businesses and a lot of residents to say, hey, it only takes me 25, 30 minutes to get downtown Indy from Lebanon, or vice versa. So it makes it kind of a unique place. And it's right between, I know you got your IU basketball gym back there behind you, but it's in between.
Don't hold against me.
Purdue and Indy too. So.
And everybody, we're talking with Jordan Bass. He's the president of Forza Commercial Real Estate, kind of leading the charge for the Brakeman building that is being constructed right on the gateway on Lebanon Street, State Road 39, as you head into the downtown of our community. And it's just funny, we talked earlier about the timing and how things got delayed, but now kind of looking at it, this is perfect timing because we were delayed kind of getting the call going today to set up this podcast because of some great news associated with Hickory Junction Fieldhouse. And you add to that the things that are taking place downtown. And oh, by the way, Eli Lilly is coming to town, and the state's large innovation area that they're putting together. Looking at young professionals, the proximity to the interstate, and you talked about the short drive to Indy or going up to the other community up in the West Lafayette area. The timing is relatively wonderful for the Brakeman building to take shape and to culminate later on this year, summer into fall.
Yeah, absolutely. It is great timing. I think, what we found too in fielding calls and getting ready to pre-lease, we're getting young professionals that are interested. We're also getting, your empty nesters that are interested as well. And they, that demographic really likes the same thing. They like to be able to walk around town. They like the low maintenance of the property. They like the accessibility to the interstate and the exciting things that Lebanon has. So those are the two that we've really seen a real, interest in. They're very interested in our building.
And the Brakeman building got its namesake because it's right there on the railroad that kind of goes through town and through. Honestly, this building, the municipal building where I'm sitting, is where the railway also came through several years ago, obviously. And this isn't your first rodeo working with Forza Commercial Real Estate. What can our residents and people that are looking, whether they be empty nesters or those young professionals, what can they expect or gain from the Brakeman building when it comes online and becomes a full-fledged part of the community, different amenities that it may have?
The building itself is going to be very nice. It's going to have a nice open field. The units, there's several different layouts to choose from, whether you want a studio all the way up to, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. And they all vary in size and layout as well. So you can really, depending on what your needs are, we have something for everybody. I think we have 12 different layouts. So I think that's going to be really nice. It's going to have, nice countertops, brand new appliances and finishes inside. It's, again, it's airy, it's open. There's a lot of windows. And so there's going to be plenty of parking, on the same lot and a lot across the street. So it's going to be a very beautiful building and something we're excited to bring to the community. And I know, as Lebanon grows, there'll be products and buildings that come in that are going to be similar to ours, but we're one of the first that I think is going to have that look and feel.
And you mentioned earlier the timing was just about right to revitalize after seeing some things taking place in Lebanon and things kind of aligning themselves for the community, that now was the right time, and hoping that things will continue on a pace where another one of those buildings by Forza Commercial Real Estate or someone else may happen in the community?
Yeah, I think, we're going to take one project at a time here and make sure that this one is successful and the community as well, receives it very well. But yeah, we would absolutely love to continue, developments in Lebanon. I think it's a great town. We certainly want to continue to be a part of it.
And we've taken some pictures along the way, and we'll share them in the body of this podcast. And they've been online and through our social media channels. But already people are reaching out and wanting to know more and possibly get in, kind of be the first ones to get in on that pre-lease time period that hasn't actually begun yet, but they're wanting to get in, chomping at the bit type thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a handful of people that are just say, yeah, I'm ready to move as soon as these are done. And we have, a pretty healthy list of people that have inquired and said, okay, yeah, the timing will probably line up just right. But again, it's funny that the people are just the handful of people that we do have are just like, yeah, let me in. I'm ready. Just
Banking, I'm
September
in.
1st, give me the keys. So, so that's exciting. And so we're in the process of hiring a property management group that's also very excited to be in Lebanon. And I think we'll have a nice lead tracker for them by the time we get them signed up.
And they're ready to go, sign on the dotted line, even before any first floor space, the name of that or whoever that is released. And if we can, again, we're talking with Jordan Bass. He's the president of Forza Commercial Real Estate here on the Love in Lebanon podcast. Can we kind of talk about who you're hoping to attract? And I know the effort, roughly 5,000 square feet of space so far that's in the process right now of being actively marketed. Do you have a wish list of who that user might be or what it might look like?
I think we have two different ideas, and one of them would be someone who's already in Lebanon that needs more space or wants an upgraded space, something that is nice, new, it's customizable right now. If you go in and, take a look at it, it's just a big open space, and it's intentionally left that way because we want someone to come in and design it. We want to build it out to their needs. And so it's really a blank canvas. So someone in Lebanon, a business there in Lebanon would be a perfect fit for you. Need more space or you just, something that you want to build out and make fit to your needs. The other idea would be to offer it to an established business that's already here in the state but wants a presence in Lebanon. And so, that could be a very unique opportunity for both the business and Lebanon alike, right? You bring in a group that isn't already there and bring in jobs and, bring in money to the county. So, those are the two things we're really looking for. But we don't have an idea of what specific business that is. And that's why we've left that kind of blank right now and just haven't finished it out. We're just, we want to be able to build it to suite.
And keeping those options open. So, your restaurant, your retail, your office commercial space are all those things are in play and on the table and got a wide open space.
Absolutely. Yep.
And how great is that to be able to have that versatility that it's not set in one box and you're not hamstrung that way. It's just like you mentioned, it's ready to rock and roll for whatever fits that space and whatever need that is needed.
Yeah, so obviously, a restaurant has a very specific need. A office building has a very specific need, and then you have your industrial or retail, right? And so you get too far along in the build out process and bring it to what we call a white box. But by the time you do that, then you've eliminated one of those groups, right? And so we want to make sure that we don't do that. If we build a white box to suit someone that needs office space, and then all of a sudden we have a retail tenant that's interested, then it's harder to change, and then obviously the restaurant would be even harder to manipulate from that. And so. And then on vice versa, if you build it out towards a restaurant and then someone, wants to utilize it as an office, well, then you spent so much money on building out a restaurant that it's kind of hard to go back to the office because you've invested so much into it. So, keeping our options open right now and, not only benefits us, but, the future business there as well.
Yeah, very well said. And so pretty soon, a little bit later on in our year, the pre-lease will begin. As far as the commercial side is concerned, what happens next as far as the marketing arm of things? And if someone listening to the podcast is kind of fits or checks one of the boxes you were talking about, whether they're located in the state looking for more space or here locally within the city limits or the greater Lebanon area, what happens from between now and when things get signed on the dotted line, not just the empty nesters and folks upstairs, but those on the first floor as well?
Yeah, appreciate the plug there. So we can, obviously we have our information out on our website and along the line or along the fence line there around the building. But yeah, if someone is interested, and contact us directly through the website or the call. We're also in the process of hiring a commercial real estate broker that will assist in that as well. So, once we choose that group, obviously there'll be a big marketing effort and they'll be able to contact that group as well.
Have you kind of thought about what being in Lebanon and going to and from this project and others in our area, thinking about what this might mean, the kind of the precursor for our community. When you're looking at the welcome mat, it used to be you got all the way downtown Lebanon on our courthouse square, and that's kind of when you're downtown. But with the addition of the Brakeman building and potentially others, that extends that welcome mat. Have you ever thought what kind of larger scale positive ripple effect that will have in the community to be able to have that welcome to town happen that much closer to the interstate and that much maybe further away from the downtown as they get closer?
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly thought about it. I know we have potential opportunity to do another development across the street where we're actually putting a parking lot. I think that parking lot is going to serve Lebanon very well as well. But I think, as you do that, I think you can keep going back away from downtown towards the interstate, because like you said, it's kind of the gateway or the corridor into Lebanon. I think, you see a building like the Brakeman go up, I think there's going to be other developers that see that that's successful and they like that look, and they'll be able to continue doing that down the road. And quite frankly, it's only 44 units, right? And so
yeah, that's true.
I think Lebanon will need a lot more than just these 44 units, especially here in the next couple of years. So I think there's going to be a pretty high demand and a lot of interest in development along that road.
And just to kind of wrap things up here, Jordan, is that kind of what you're hearing about Lebanon? I mean, we kind of knew that the growth was coming. We've seen our neighbors to the south in Whitestown and that kind of ripple effect that's happening around all the donut counties. So we knew that Lebanon was going to be kind of the next one to have some growth and things. But is that what you're seeing from the commercial real estate side, that Lebanon is really starting to hit its stride when it comes to the growth and development that we've kind of forecasted over the last 5 years, 6 years or so?
Yeah, I think so. I think, when talking with people and just in general, I mean, there's so much buzz and excitement around Lebanon, and you can tell just in the land prices and the home values around there as well have really gone up with the excitement. So that there's the reason why they're going up is because developers are interested in coming in and contacting the landowners. And so, I think the state and even quite frankly, people out of state are realizing like, hey, yeah, we want to be a part of this. This is really exciting.
Well, Jordan, thank you. And thank you to the folks at Forza for continuing to stay. We mentioned earlier about the pandemic and all the struggles. I think it'll all be worthwhile and definitely worth all the sweat equity that's literally gone on into this project. Appreciate you being here on a podcast as well.
Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. And we're really excited to be part of the Lebanon community.
All righty. Everybody, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Lebanon podcast. We certainly thank Jordan and the team at Forza Commercial Real Estate for choosing Lebanon, and we're hoping for continued success of our community and all the things to come. So thanks again for listening. More episodes are coming your way soon. Take care, everybody.